Let's invite finalist number 6, Mr. Seah to present about his entrepreneurial journey and his business.
Yeah, welcome, Mr. Seah. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Okay, I think being Malaysian, the word Karang Guni is not foreign to any one of us. Yeah? Sau kau poji, beli surat khabar lama, we heard it all the time. And then we know in all this Karang Guni truck, there's always a little boy in that truck. I was that little boy 30 years ago. When I remember back in, in primary school, I go back to my father, I say, hey, the teacher asked me, what does your father do? Should I write Karang Guni? He said, no, you don't tell anybody that we are Karang Guni. You tell him, I'm a lorry driver. So basically that's what it is. But being in a truck, I actually get to see a lot of things. My parents do good things, and it's legitimate money. They're very hardworking, but they don't get the work and respect, that they deserve. It's a dirty job, it's a harsh job, tough environment, but it's very, very good social relevance. So when I go to college, while everyone study finance and everything and go to Wall Street, I actually went into supply chain because I want to be a successful Karang Guni. That's why I'm trying to share with everyone. Okay, let's talk about what we do here. I'm trying to cut this a bit shorter. What we do is that we produce smart plastic from plastic scrap. Okay, what do we mean by smart plastic? Okay, for example, we produce something we call fast cycle plastic. This product, if you use new material to make, if it takes 10 seconds to make, with our material, it only takes 5, half of the time to actually make the exact same functioning product. We make antibacterial egg trays for a very big and well-known American fast food chain, okay? They do a lot of things. They do a lot of precaution to make sure that during bird flu time, the bacteria doesn't transfer from the eggs to their chain. So what we do is that we created a thin coat of membrane on top of the surface of this product, okay, in order to kill all the bacteria. When the egg tray is dirty, you wash it off, the membrane can wash off as well. But what happened is that the material actually have the smartness to create another migration of another new, fresh, thin coat of membrane on top and continue with the function. So what we do essentially is that we actually impart some intelligence, some mechanism, or some algorithm inside the plastic during the time when we recycle. We make fire retardant plastic that the plastic doesn't burn. Green wall material for green mark, green building, and we can actually make plastic even electric conductive. Yeah, we sell it, and then we just recently have an inquiry from Foxconn that actually need a specialized of electric conductive plastic, and they make it specific that make sure that this is recycled material, and that's what we do. We've been selling to right now about 21 countries, Japan, Europe, many countries in Europe, Australia, US, and some exotic countries like Angola and Hungary. Let's talk about how we do it. Okay, the recycling industry, when we first started out, are very, very fragmented. The whole industry actually are fragmented into 6 different businesses. Business number 1, do only collection. That's where we started from. Business number 2, do only sorting. Business number 3, do only crushing. And then washing, mixing, and color matching, and so on. Towards the end is extrusion, where we actually melt, and then we customize our material based on that. Now, there are some problems with A, B, C, D, E, F. Number 1, labor intensive. Yeah, you involve a lot of people. Number 2, there's a lot of non-value adding logistic. Material can move around a lot. And number 3, A, B, C, D, E, F are not talking to each other. Okay, if E has a problem and say, hey, where is B? How come I'm having this problem? Can you produce the material slightly differently? The recycler at B will say that, I don't care. This is, I do whatever I like. You like, you take it. If you don't like, leave it here. Okay, so that actually gives a problem. As the material flow through the entire industrial chain, the cost goes up, the quality goes down. Therefore, the bad reputation about recycled plastic. This is what we do. We integrate everything under one system. So with that, we save the logistic costs. We actually also save a lot of the labor costs. And the third thing we found out is that not only the A, B, C, D, E, F are now talking to each other, we found a secret in this supply chain that we can actually customize the material. And the quality of whatever we collect can be done in a much better way. This is how the machine looks like. That's basically what we do for our material. We actually sell 90% of our material, we export overseas. If you have plastic scrap of this entire room, it will take us about 5 days to actually recycle them. We recycle 100 tons of plastic per day. Yeah? So actually, in actual concentrated, it's actually bigger and more than this room. So 100 tons of plastic, that's what we're recycling per day. I like one of the questions from earlier. Yeah, what do we do? And this is where we are now. What is the next step? The one that I just described to you is called a mechanical recycling, so that we convert material to material, a very relevant industrial material. The second thing that we do, which was commercialized about 6 months ago, is called an energy or thermal recycling. Yeah? What we do is that we create a composite of plastic material from plastic scrap that can be used to substitute or to work with coal. 1 kilogram of coal is 4,000 calories. 1 kilogram of plastic scrap is 12,000. Okay? So if you're comparing just from the calorie inherent properties, it's 3 times more. And then, so what we can do is that you can substitute as one. The second thing is that if you're working with some biomass, green energy, recycling, sometimes your calorific dip a bit too low. So what we do is that we actually enhance a booster to boost the calorie feed. The third one is chemical recycling. Okay, we look at plastic scrap again. Okay, in plastic scrap, first we saw the material, that's mechanical. We look at the calorie feed, or what is the thermal inherent property. The third thing that we look at, this is hydrocarbon. It's basically carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. So what we do is that we actually use a process called pyrolysis process, where we break down all these hydrocarbon into hydrogen, oxygen, and carbon. And these are the very core of the basic ingredient that we need in any industrialization. And what can we do with that? We break it down, we combine it back again. We can create some biodiesel from that. Yeah, we have tested our plastic scrap-induced biodiesel, whereby right now the diesel, just like petrol, we have 97, we have 95. For diesel, we measure with cetane number. So normally our cetane number right now, we get cetane number of 50. Our biodiesel comes with a cetane number of 55. It's actually a better grade. And these are all possible, and all these are possible from plastic scrap. We hear today very interesting stories that we find inspiration from everywhere. We found it from fruits, we found it from property, curtains, community service that come with a big heart, global art, and many more to come. We talk about, we are going to talk about security system, food, and our traditional medical treatment. So what we're trying to share today, all 10 of us, is trying to say that in any area or any point in your life, you can find some inspiration that can actually fuel you and drive you further. And among all 10, I found my inspiration from rubbish. I'm sure you guys can do better. With that, I thank you. This is Kian, Seah, and I'm still a Karanguni. Thank you.